Hey there, everybody. Welcome to The Cut. As always, we are here to react to the latest and greatest videos that everybody is talking about. You know, from music videos to viral clips, everything in between, we've got you covered. If you're looking for a good laugh, you just want to stay up to date with the latest trends, make sure you tune in. And while tuning in, if you enjoy what you're seeing, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe our channel so you can support us and you never miss a video. Let's get into it.
Please.
And I'm pumped because it's about my girl, Michelle
Yes,
Obama.
I knew you would enjoy this one. So
I
yeah,
love that woman.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna check out one of Colion Noir.
I like this dude.
Yeah,
I like this dude.
I like him a lot. I've watched quite a few of his videos, but we're gonna watch a video from him. He is talking about Michelle Obama, and she says that we're the only country with unfettered access to guns, and she has an opinion to make on some of these gun.
Like that fact.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that and just kind of guns in general. We'll just put it there.
Okay.
So, of course, we're not gonna make you guys wait any longer. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. So let's do it.
So, the former First Lady Michelle Obama joined CBS Morning co-host Gayle King and had this to say about guns in America.
We are the only developed country on the planet where its citizens can have unfettered access to firearms. That is not a good thing.
After watching this video,
She
I
looked
want to
old.
put some things into perspective, piece by piece.
Do you think that we can ever figure out a way to reconcile gun violence in this country? Because it does keep me up.
The reason we haven't been able to reconcile gun violence in this country is because you don't have the conversation honestly. Therefore, we never actually get to the root cause of the issue. First of all, you're looking for a quick and simple solution to what are complex issues. There are various forms of gun violence, and each happen for different reasons. Self-inflicted gun violence is by far the most frequent form of gun violence, which is a mental health issue, not a gun issue. If guns were the issue, we'd have the highest rates, but we're not even in the top 10. Then there are actual gun murders. The vast majority of these gun murders happen in Democrat-led poverty-stricken inner cities by way of beefs between different gang and neighborhood cliques and drug territory disputes. That doesn't sound like a gun problem. That sounds like a socioeconomic problem to me. Mass shootings account for less than 1% of gun murders, and it's likely lower than that because a good number of those mass shootings are gang and neighborhood cliques where 4 or more people died in that shooting and not just some random person shooting up a mall. Then there are accidental shootings, which can easily be avoided by simply focusing on firearm safety education. So yes, there is a way to reconcile gun violence in this country.
But
So-
I don't like something.
Okay.
He totally didn't talk about school shootings. We are the highest school shooting in the nation, or not in the nation, in the world. We're the highest. And that, I agree with literally everything he said. Everything. That is a gun problem.
Well-
School shootings. That is a gun problem.
I disagree with you, and he did mention mass shootings, which encompasses school shootings.
See, in my opinion, mass shootings aren't school shootings. And the reason I say that is, like, when I think of a mass shooting, I think of, like, what happened in Orlando, right? I think of
You're talking about what was it?
the Pride
Pulse
nightclub or whatever.
nightclub or something like that.
Yeah, that the Pulse.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think of that kind of thing. When I think of school shootings, I don't think of it as mass shootings, because when I think of a mass, and I could be completely wrong, and that's why we have this podcast, because we can educate each other. A mass shooting is indiscriminate, right? A mass shooting isn't targeting necessarily one group of people or one person. A school shooting is targeting children, and that's what it is. You don't go to a school shooting to kill 94-year-old grandmothers, right? You're going there with the express intent to kill children. Or maybe not children, maybe teenagers, maybe college students.
Why do you think? Why do you think that school shootings are so? Why do you think Why do you think schools are such a popular option for people who want to do mass
because they
harm?
know it's going to cause the most amount of harm, not just from a shooting perspective, but from a emotional perspective, from a remembered in time perspective,
Because it's kids.
because it's children. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say these things. It's just when I think of mass shootings, I think of Pulse, or I think of
Well, see, that's a big thing because a lot of people. There's like no legal definition for a mass shooting.
sure.
So the way a lot of places kind of record mass shootings, I think he mentioned it already in this video or maybe another video, but it's like when 3 or 4,
He said, yeah.
4 or more people die in the incident. So yeah, so I guess we're talking mass shootings. School shootings could be encompassed.
And they absolutely could be.
Mass
I
shootings
just
could
think,
encompass school shootings.
I'm just thinking something like this, especially saying like, hey, how he made the statistic out there, that was a great statistic, but let's call a spade a spade. If we're going to talk statistics, let's talk about how America is the leader in school shootings.
School shootings. Okay, so how do we prevent that?
I feel that we prevent school shootings by having better security.
We agree.
And in my mind,
Because and that's kind of where I was going earlier when I said, why do you think it's such a popular option? Because it's a soft target.
it's a soft
It's
target.
an easy target.
It is.
But if you had higher security, if you wanted to go do the same shit in an airport, good luck. Especially if you're
Good luck if you're going to an airport, bro.
right. That's what I'm saying. Why? Because there's a lot of security.
Good luck if you go to a college campus. Good luck if you, to be honest with you, good luck if you came to like my car dealership, because there's like 5 guys there that conceal carry. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and because those facilities allow it.
Correct.
Yeah, school.
I really think that schools should have a teacher or two that is allowed to conceal carry.
So today I was at the bank and I had a decent amount of money in my pocket, and
I was stacks.
I was thinking to myself, like, because sometimes the bank will ask me, if I want an envelope to carry my money in? No, that's just making me a fucking target. Mm-hmm. You see me carrying around this envelope, that means I got money in it. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just shove the money in my pocket. All right. So, but it got me thinking. I said, if I were to get robbed for my money, I'm in the bank. I can't do anything to defend myself because I can't have my gun in here. Mm-hmm. But now, what if I did have my gun in here and I had it concealed, kind of like I had my money concealed, right? Nobody's gonna know I have it on me. So if somebody came in there to rob the bank, and let's say I did have my gun concealed against the policies or whatever law, whatever, and I were to take out the person who was robbing the bank at gunpoint, I would still go to jail.
You absolutely would.
Because I shouldn't have my gun in there. Mm-hmm. Even though I potentially just saved however many people were in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's stupid. And banks, they get robbed all the fucking time.
I think shit like that's dumb, man. Like, you're going to go to jail because let's say you even forgot. You know what I mean? Like, you have your gun with you, and it's just your concealed carry. I mean, you carry it with you as a form of protection, right? Mm-hmm. You can, I don't know because I don't own a gun, but I can assume you might, because it's just a part of your person at this point, you might honestly forget you have it. Like, there's no malicious, no nothing involved. And then, hey, what happened here?
It definitely
Hey, man,
happens.
He opened fire, and I had my gun. I subdued him. I got rid of the problem. I just saved 12 people's lives. Oh, hey, thanks for doing that, but you're going to fucking prison, boy.
Yeah, can you put your hands behind your back? But you know what they say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Mm-hmm. So
that type of shit's always been so fucked up to me. Like, shit like that, an instance like that, or someone killed someone's fucking brother and making a mockery of it, and like all this shit's happening, and a dude just goes and fucking kills the dude that fucking killed that person. Or like a child molester went and fucking killed all these people, and then he's in prison, and the fucking people kill him in prison. bro, he fucked a kid, like, and then killed the kid after he fucked him. You're telling me that we just need to let him stay alive? Like,
You know what?
that's the justice, bro. You're never gonna get your kid back, but
I think this is for
if that happened to me, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fill up your commissary, my friend, for the rest of your
You
life.
know what? I struggle with this myself because if something happened to my son, I'd probably, somebody close to me, I'd probably want to end their life. But at the same time, I'm not so much for like capital punishment, like death penalty.
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. If something ever happened to my son, God forbid, and you knew about it and you were riding around town one day and you found the dude that did it and you did something to him and I found out that you were going to prison, I'd be like, for fucking what? Like, get the fuck out of here.
It doesn't change anything, though.
It doesn't change anything.
Still going to prison.
I'd honestly be like, he fucking solved the problem that you guys wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, he's a better police officer than you are.
Yeah, but I would definitely.
I just never have gotten that type of shit.
I would definitely end somebody's life for my son. But I would do it knowing the consequences.
Yeah.
That I'm going to be put in jail. But that's what I'm saying. I doing it with the knowledge of the consequences and accepting the consequences. Whereas like capital, like the death sentence, I'm not really for that because I think there are a lot of people who have been wrongfully convicted of crimes, and if somebody gets wrongfully convicted and is served a death penalty, yeah, I just think there's always
There's
what I'm
sides
saying?
to shit, man. There's
you know what I'm
sides to
saying?
it.
And plus, I don't think we should be the ones to say when somebody dies. That's like an eye for an eye, which.
If it happens to a kid, though.
Yeah, I know. I and like I said, that's why if somebody did something to my son, I would be willing to. You know what I'm saying? I would be willing to accept the consequences of me taking revenge or whatever.
Oh, if it were me, bro, I'd fucking run that fucking prison by the time I got out of there. I'd get in such good shape. I'd fucking make my own gang. Like,
I know you got some long hair, Tom.
I know. Well, I wouldn't be holding anyone's pocket. People would be holding mine. I got his pocket.
Let's see what else Michelle Obama has to say.
I'll listen to her
Start
talk all
focusing
day.
on the underlying issues causing such gun violence, and they will drastically decrease. The only problem is it's not a quick, simple solution. It will take time and it will be difficult, but the goal will be reached.
To reconcile gun violence in this country, because it does keep me up.
I hope and pray that at some point enough becomes enough.
What is that point?
We wondered that throughout our entire presidency, thinking that this time.
Yeah, Barack Obama said that Newtown was one of the worst days of his presidency.
Yeah.
And we still didn't get that message.
But
When is enough going to be enough is a loaded way of implying that gun owners haven't seen a tragedy big enough yet to justify banning guns. It's also a very slimy statement because it assumes gun owners don't care about people dying and refuse to give up our right to bear arms simply because they're fun and have no other utility other than murder. We protect our right to bear arms because enough has been enough a long time ago. That's why people buy guns, for protection. We understand that there are evil people in this world that won't be stopped by laws. We understand that if we're ever to be confronted by that evil, Michelle Obama and her security detail aren't going to be there to protect us. We understand that though they try their best, police officers can't be there in time when a group of dudes with guns are trying to kick in our front door. This is why you and your family are surrounded by people with guns 24/7 for your protection. I find it odd that it makes sense to her that she would be protected by guns, but can't seem to understand why we have guns for the same reason. So the better question really is, when will enough become enough for Michelle Obama to get rid of her armed security detail that carries guns for her protection?
we are the only developed country on the planet where its citizens can have unfettered access to firearms. That is not a good thing. And more of us have to feel strongly about it, and particularly our young people. This is where democracy comes in. Voting, all this stuff is decided
Matters.
in the ballot box.
Michelle, we are the freest nation in the world because American citizens have the access we have to guns. You are a political elite. Of course you don't think it's a good thing. I'm sorry that you had to be the political lead of a country whose founding fathers wrote a document protecting our individual rights and treated its citizens like free people instead of servants to be ruled over. And speaking of unfettered access to guns, ma'am, you are surrounded by men with machine guns 24/7. You have more access to guns than anyone else in this country. I don't have machine guns for my protection, yet you do. She says Americans having unfettered access to guns is a bad thing and more of us should feel strongly about it. But this doesn't surprise me considering this is what the U.S. attorney during her husband's administration said about guns.
I've also asked the school board to make a part of every day some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message. Every day, every school, at every level. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
Did you say that out loud?
He did. Brainwash people. Interesting.
Anti-gun, brainwash.
Brainwash.
Every day.
Interesting.
School, every level, every day.
Interesting.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who would say Michelle Obama's unfettered access to free speech is a bad thing. And I'm pretty sure you don't care. The same way we don't care about your feelings about our supposed unfettered access to guns. The reason the gun violence in this country continues is because you refuse to address the underlying issues that are causing the violence in the first place. And instead, you all use each tragedy as an excuse to push gun control laws that would have even prevented the tragedy in the first place. At no point do you talk to the most ardent of gun owners about the issues. No matter how many times we say we are willing to have that conversation, you all just sit in your fancy echo chambers and talk at us instead of to us. Your goal isn't saving lives, it's getting control. I'm not saying you want people to die, I'm just saying your agenda is blinding you from the solution. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment.
Go check out Coley on the War.
Then
Go check out his
to the
website.
channel, but most importantly, click that bell.
Do it. But yeah, so good video from him as always. I think he makes some very good points. Of course, pro-gun, you know, have guns, protect yourself with guns, don't do stupid shit with guns. You know, learn gun safety. That's another thing. Like, whenever I heard him mention, you know, lack of knowledge. What do you say? The accidental gun incidents, where he says it's just a lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge, yes.
Yeah, and experience. I honestly would be completely okay with schools, high schools. I mean, I guess if they had a pretty safe and solid curriculum, even like elementary, junior high schools teaching firearm safety. Not necessarily have firearms and whatnot, but
making
teach
them aware of
firearm
it.
safety. Like, you know, this button makes it go bang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't point your weapon at anything you don't want to shoot. You know, keep it on safe. You know.
Well, the more that you introduce it at a younger age, the more that it won't be abused later in life.
That's what I'm saying. And then if you introduce it at a younger age, then you're not going to have little Timmy fucking find his gun in his dad's closet and be like, "Ooh, what's this?" Or show his friend, "Ooh, look at my dad's cool gun." Boom! And accidentally shoot him. That shit happens all the time. But if you teach them that safety and expose them to guns, they're going to be less interested and think it's, you know, something flashy and cool to show their friends. They're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, that's my dad's gun."
Yeah, like John Morant. If John Morant would have had that.
If John Morant had kids right now, they would know about guns because this motherfucker can't keep them away. They out
Stupidest
everywhere he goes.
motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
But yeah,
Not met, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, definitely gun safety, gun knowledge, gun. You know, I think we should be as many guns as we have in this country. I think we should embrace it and spread the knowledge about them. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Marine Corps, before I went to the Marine Corps, I didn't know the weapon safety rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I knew how to treat a weapon so that way I didn't fucking shoot nobody. You know, and I knew how to shoot. But when you go in the Marine Corps, they teach you weapon safety rules and they harp on it and Treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep your weapon unsafe until you're ready to fire. And then one that they don't really teach you, but you should definitely know your target and what's behind it. So, but yeah, man, my son knows
Good video.
those. My son knows those.
Yeah, he's fucking 11.
Yeah, but he's known them since he was probably 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I taught him the weapon safety rules when he was young. That way, if he ever found any of my guns, you know, sitting around, or you know, he would know how to handle it in a safe manner.
He would know what they are. He would know what the consequences are of shooting them, because there's consequences to shooting them.
Yeah.
He would know that, you know, he would know the story behind, not the story behind it, but like the implications of owning them and how you need to respect them and how.
Yeah, and I mean, but to me, the big thing was like if he found it and needed to handle it for some reason, he would know how to handle it to where there wasn't an accidental discharge, or if it did accidentally discharge, it wasn't pointed at something that he didn't want it to, you know, didn't want to shoot, or you know, whatever the case is. Like, weapon safety, gun safety is
Important.
something that should be
paramount.
taught young, and relieve kids of that interest and that excitement over guns. Just make it another tool in the shed. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
So,
I loved it.
got nothing to add?
Nothing.
That's it? All right. Well, then
Nothing.
I guess we're going to call that one that. And, of course, thank you guys so much for watching our reaction video. You have all made the cut. We hope you enjoyed our take on the latest and greatest videos out there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below so you never miss a reaction from us. And if you have any suggestions on anything you'd like for us to react to, let us know in the comments below. And then, of course, until next time, keep on watching and keep on reacting. We're out again. Peace.